How's it going, everyone? My name is George, and this is just my video on the status of Spider-Man No Way Home. Why we haven't gotten a trailer yet. Just some of the rumored leaks and how consistent certain leaks are. Basically, just dissecting what I feel about some of these thoughts, how true are some of these leaks, and what has stayed consistent. In other words, what leaks and rumors are being said more than once. So obviously, recently we've gotten some Spider-Man No Way Home merch leaked, basically toys, Funko Pops, and it's really nothing too revealing. It's kind of stuff we already know that's gonna happen. We know Doctor Strange is gonna be in the film. So there's a new Lego set with that and a Doctor Strange figure. They also had a J. Jonah Jameson figure released, and we've heard that J.K. Simmons was going to come back as J. Jonah Jameson, at least the MCU version of the character. We've gotten some new Spider-Man suits. You have black and gold one, which looks pretty cool. It looks like it's like coming straight from the PS4 Spider-Man games. You also have another one that looks like a more upgraded version of the Iron Spider suit. That's been criticized. I actually don't mind it. It looks pretty cool in my opinion. It also looks like it's also trying to combine with the Spider-Man PS4 suit, the main one with the white Spider-Man symbol in the middle, the upgraded suit. So those look pretty cool. But again, nothing about is Toby and Andrew going to appear, some of the rumored villains. I'm not surprised that they haven't showed Doc Ock and Electro yet, even though they have been confirmed, because it's not quite 100% if they're playing their versions from the previous films. I mean, Alfred Molina has confirmed that, oh yeah, this is my character straight from Spider-Man 2, but you never know if he's telling the truth or not as well. And even if they are from those previous films, they could have a new look. I remember Jamie Foxx, when he was first confirmed as Electro back in October of last year, he did say that his design would look different. So they probably want to keep the new design a secret. Probably same thing for Doc Ock. They probably have a new Doc Ock design. So nothing quite revealing about Toby and Andrew or any of the other rumored villains. The other rumored villains have been Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, Thomas Hayden Church's Sandman, and Paul Giamatti's Rhino, and the Lizard from the Amazing Spider-Man films. So none of that's been confirmed, although apparently in an interview from a few weeks ago, Willem Dafoe has hinted that he has an upcoming project that he's not allowed to talk about. And we know that out of those four villains that have yet to be confirmed, he has been the most heavily rumored. In fact, he's been the most heavily rumored villain. And I've said that a few times in previous videos. But it also ties into what I want to discuss in this video, which is some of these leaked rumors. It feels like there's always a new leak or a new rumor of the plot coming out every so often. And as far as what's been consistent with those rumors, I want to touch upon that. So what's been rumored many times has been a Multiverse Sinister Six, and Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin being the main bad guy. He's basically the leader of this Sinister Six. The last couple of rumored leaks have had Sandman, Rhino, and Lizard joining Green Goblin, Electro, and Doc Ock as well. Now, I know there have been some leaks where they were never mentioned, or I remember there was a leak back in January that didn't mention them. They did mention Green Goblin, Doc Ock, and Electro, although it didn't seem like they were going to play as main roles. Those leaks also had Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio returning, but after that leak from January, he hasn't really been brought back up. I think one leak did have him appear in a dream sequence of MCU Spider-Man's, where he's basically haunting him, because we know Mysterio has revealed Spider-Man's identity, probably has had the biggest effect on him so far, at least in his current rogue gallery. Now, other leaks that seem consistent or rumors is that at the end of the film, Green Goblin's going to kill someone close to Peter Parker, and that causes Peter Parker, the MCU Peter Parker, obviously, to fight him in rage. Now, most of the leaks have not really confirmed who that close person was to Peter Parker, but one leak, which was kind of under some heavy scrutiny and criticism, and I'm going to get to why, had Ned, Peter Parker's best friend, be the one that Green Goblin kills, which would kind of make sense. And listen, I don't want Ned to die, obviously. I do enjoy the character of Ned. I know some people find him annoying, but I like the character. But at this point of the Spider Man franchise, it wouldn't be a surprise if they killed one of Peter Parker's close friends. In Spider Man 3, it was Harry Osborn. Amazing Spider Man 2, it was Gwen Stacy. And as of right now, like, he hasn't had a close friend get killed. Like, he lost his mentor in Tony Stark in Avengers Endgame, but in a Spider Man film with one of his close friends, none of them have been killed yet. So, Ned would probably make the most sense if he does get killed. Now, on to the leak that said Ned was going to be the one to get killed that would push Peter over the edge in fighting the Green Goblin. The leak is under scrutiny and criticism because another character gets killed off. And this is, again, spoiler alerts in case this leak tends to be true. Apparently, during the fight against the Sinister Six, and again, forewarning, this may or may not be true, but this was rumored a few weeks ago. The leak had Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man die in the fight against the Sinister Six because he is the oldest and more worn down Spider-Man. Now, I don't believe that for certain. That's why I'm very hesitant with that supposed leak, even though some of the other stuff has been consistent. But apparently, he gets killed off and find the Sinister Six. And I just find that hard to believe that they're going to kill a legacy character off in someone else's Spider-Man film. And also, this plot leak makes Tobey's Spider-Man seem very similar to Tony Stark in Avengers Endgame, because in the leak, it talks about where Tobey's Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man have been. Now, Andrew's Spider-Man is a professor, and Tobey's Spider-Man has settled down with Mary Jane, is married to her, and also has a daughter. That's similar to Tony Stark's arc in Avengers Endgame. So that's why I'm not very sure about this leak. Now, this rumor leak does have some promising stuff, though. For example, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man does play a bit of a mentor role to MCU Spider-Man. Basically gives him some much needed guidance. And I like to see that with Andrew Garfield because I think out of the three Spider-Man actors, he was the most neglected as far as his Spider-Man franchise goes, how those films were handled. And I think that would be a nice redemption arc for him and his Spider-Man. But at the same time, I'm just not buying that notion. Maybe it's true, that's why I said a spoiler. Now, another plot leak that someone was mentioning was apparently, and this was the plot leak that came out after this one that I just mentioned. Apparently, Andrew's Spider-Man is first recruited before Tobey's Spider-Man, and that's kind of been was rumored back in the first leak, the one that had Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio in it and Spider Slayers and all the other stuff that was kind of debunked or hasn't been rumored since. He's supposedly going to have a bigger role, and Tobey's Spider-Man comes in later in the film. But that one hasn't really been touched upon, so I'm not really buying into that. The one thing that has also been consistent, though, is apparently Doctor Strange is imprisoning these villains from the multiverse, and apparently they manipulate MCU Spider-Man into letting them go by saying that their Spider-Man and their universes were evil, corrupt, and Peter Parker lets them go free, and they come out and cause havoc. Now, that's been one that's been in the last few leaks, and also it came out today by Grace Randolph, and take this with a grain of salt, because while Grace Randolph has gotten some things right, she's also gotten many things wrong. She said that apparently Doctor Strange is going to have a big role in this film, and that there's going to be stuff him and Peter strongly disagree on. And so this probably plays into that. That makes that rumor true, if that is true. Because, like I said, Grace Randolph has gotten many things right, but she's also gotten a lot wrong. And basically, like, these are just some of the things that have been consistent and things that don't seem. Oh yeah, another thing is apparently the final fight's going to take place on the Statue of Liberty. It's going to involve Tony Stark's like big arc reactor. What else has been consistent? And this hasn't. Well, this is another thing that wasn't consistent. Like, this was heavily rumored that apparently the MCU Norman Osborn was going to be introduced, and it was going to be Raimi Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, that tricks MCU Norman Osborn into letting him in the multiverse. That plot leak has kind of died off because after that, the one about Doctor Strange imprisoning these villains was appearing more often. Now, again, I'm not saying all this is true or not, but what sounds consistent is that Doctor Strange is imprisoning these villains from the multiverse. They somehow trick MCU Spider-Man into letting them go free. Doctor Strange is clearly annoyed. There's going to be some disagreements between him and Peter Parker. They recruit the Spider-Man from those universes. They're going to fight against this Multiverse Sinister Six. The Multiverse Sinister Six consists of Green Goblin, Doc Ock, and Sandman from the Raimi films, and Electro, Lizard, and Rhino from the Amazing films. There's going to be some involvement with Tony Stark's arc reactor. The final fight's going to take place on Statue of Liberty. Green Goblin is the leader. He kills someone close to Peter Parker. One leak said it was Ned Leeds, but none of the other leaks have said if it was officially Ned or someone else. Spider-Man fights Green Goblin in Rage. And, oh yeah, the identity thing. The identity thing is cleared up by the end of the film. Although some of the leaks say that his identity is still out there. He's just no longer being accused of killing Mysterio, but his identity is still out there. And yeah, those are just some of the more consistent rumors. And I did say some of the things that do feel different, like the one leak that reveals what characters are going to die. The one leak that introduced an MCU version of Norman Osborn. And that's really just about it with this video. I just want to talk about what things seem consistent so far with some of these leaks and rumors. And, oh yeah, the trailer. I do want to get this whole trailer thing out of the way. Who knows when this trailer comes out? But don't get your high hopes for July. I think a lot of people were very high on June with the trailer coming out because of how the other trailers came out. But who really knows? I know people are going to say with this merchandise leaks happening, that, oh, it might come soon. But who really knows? Some people are saying the Black Widow trailer, it might come out during. I don't think so. I just don't want to get my high hopes up. It just feels like they're being smart with this marketing because they don't want to reveal too much. But this is like the worst kept secret in Hollywood at the same time. And Kevin Feige recently at the Black Widow premiere, I think it was, said that some of the rumors that you hear online are false. Some of them are true. So that kind of goes with these leaks as well. And I think at least one of these leaks, not the one where Peter and Ned, MCU, not Raimi, Peter Parker, and Ned Leeds died. I don't think that was the one. It was the leak before that where you started hearing about the Green Goblin killing someone close to Peter Parker, the final battle on the Statue of Liberty, and the villains being imprisoned kind of thing by Doctor Strange. That was the one that you started hearing this stuff from, and apparently the one that leaked out stuff about Falcon and Winter Soldier that was true started that. So who knows? Maybe that is true, but I do think the more consistent things sound true. So there is some truth, I think, to some of these leaks, but I think it's mostly the stuff that we've been constantly hearing about. But yeah, those are just my thoughts on what leaks seem consistent and whatnot. And before I end this video, I do want to say that as far as like any villains from the MCU goes, I know Fandom Wire said Michael Keaton as Vulture might appear, but that's probably just going to be like a small appearance And I know the one leak supposedly had Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio appear in a dream sequence of Peter's. So as far as like MCU villains go, I know like in some of the earlier leaks, like back in January before the consistent leaks were coming out, they were saying, oh, Scorpion or Kraven are going to be the villains in this film, or at least like the newly introduced villains that would be connected to the Sinister Six. But those rumors have died out. No Kraven and Scorpion have really been confirmed since then, so don't expect them to appear. If they do appear, maybe that's a Sony surprise, who knows, or Marvel surprise, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, they haven't really been in the leaks since then. Just basically the Sinister Six that I mentioned has been leaked. So yeah, that's just been my video on all this Spider-Man No Way Home news. And what do you guys think about all this? Did you guys see the merchandise that was leaked out? Comment below, let me know. Are you guys excited for when we do get a trailer for this film? I do want to say I don't expect Toby or Andrew to appear in the trailer. Maybe the villains. I think the villains might at least appear in the trailer. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please share this with someone that's interested in Spider-Man No Way Home. And I hope to see you guys real soon. Sorry it's been a little over a week since I made a video. But just some other stuff comes up. Work stuff. And I'll be going on vacation real soon. So it may be another week until another video comes out. But until I see you guys, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend. And take care, everyone.